Hello and welcome to Beyond the Blueprint. I'm your host, Jeff O'Donnell. Today I'm joined by Michael Panzelini, founder of Archangel Asset Management and co-leader of the MHP Pros. Michael managed over 250 mobile home parks for a major asset manager before taking that institutional discipline to the entrepreneurial space. Michael, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, man. Happy to be here.
Awesome. So you spent a decade managing a massive institutional portfolio before striking out on your own. What was the biggest culture shock or operational hurdle you faced when transitioning from a corporate infrastructure to running your own entrepreneurial platform?
Um, I would say just not having all of those, existing guardrails that you have in a corporate environment. You have a lot to do and only one person to do it most of the time, right? I have a business partner on both of um, my businesses, but neither of them has any real technical background. I would say Ryan Naris has a technical background when it comes to accounting, and he has technical background when it comes to, specific programs like Grant Manager, but he's not an automation guru. He's not an online business person, right? He's more of a physical, in the world type of business person.
Right.
So taking everything I knew about real estate and then everything I knew about computer programming, automation, et cetera, onward and onward, from my corporate job and putting that into my business was great at the outset. But as these automations scale and as your business gets bigger, if you're the only person who knows what those things do, it becomes a black box that only you can control. Now, all of
Right.
a sudden, you've kind of become Keyman without really wanting to be. So,
Right.
so that's been probably the biggest operational hurdle for me. It's like, how do I delegate things that only I know
Right.
and that only exist in my head to individuals, either within management, like Ryan or my other business partner on my mobile home park side, or
Mhm.
to subordinate staff. And so, that's a challenge, especially knowing the right person to hire has always been a challenge.
Right. Yeah, no, that'd be difficult for sure. Um, so mobile home parks are notoriously management intensive, especially on the systems and automation side, like you mentioned. When you look at operators trying to scale from one or two parks to a major portfolio, what is the single biggest operational mistake that they make?
Um, I would say they just don't have systems in place. They're kind of run and gunning, most of the time.
Hmm.
And that never works. They don't have, scalable systems aren't a spreadsheet. And so people often say to themselves, well, I only have one 15 site park, so why would I build a scalable system?
Right.
Because hopefully you're not going to have just one 15 site park. So they're typically not ready to step up to
Right.
the plate,
Yeah.
when they, leave the triple A's they leave little league and go to the big leagues. So
Right.
hopefully, that's something that I drive home inside the MHP Pros pretty frequently is you have to invest in your ability to scale now, despite having probably smaller NOI than you would have initially had you decided to use spreadsheet accounting and Zoho books.
Right.
So just driving that point home to operators, you know, who are just starting out, I think is probably the biggest leverage point for them. As they scale, it's like, okay, now I don't have to move from one system to another because this system was free and this system costs $400 a month. But now I have all of this friction between getting to where I am now and getting to where I need to be tomorrow, whilst also scaling a portfolio. While you have
Right.
15 lots, build the systems, you got a lot more time, trust me.
Yeah. Yeah. So think big in the future at the beginning than waiting for it to happen.
No doubt.
Um, yeah. So the mobile home park asset class has become incredibly popular with institutional capital over the last few years, driving up competition. How do you find mispriced value or hidden upside in a market where everyone is looking for the exact same deals?
You just be different. Like everyone's different. You're not going to win a deal with an AI sales agent. So those people who are cold calling from, Filipinos to US owners, they're not going to win, right? They're just
Right.
not going to win. I say that again and again, like this shotgun approach does not work. You need a sniper approach. You need to hone in on the parks you want. You would better figure out where the local diner is, who the local sports team is, who your local code officials are. You would better figure out what local rents are and then talk to your owners about those things in a way that sounds like you know what you're talking about if you don't, because they don't care about the Filipino who's calling, oh, you want to sell your park? They've heard that 7,000 times. And that's actually a detriment to you. That's a demerit on your record if someone calls on your behalf, because you just don't have a personal touch any longer.
Right.
So if you want the good deals, you got to do the work. You got to call those individuals. You got to build a relationship and really mean it. And I think that's the other piece here. It's like people don't really care about the owners. They care about the deal. And if you start to actually care about the owners, then things change pretty damn quickly. Then the relationships build pretty damn fast. It's not about faking it till you make it. In this case, it's about genuinely caring about other people and being genuinely curious about people and their lives. And that's what yields good results when there's massive competition for the same deals, because they want to sell to you, as they should, because you're the person who did it right, not the person who's just there to build a profit. So that's my advice to individuals kind of starting out who feel like it's a sea of competition, and it is. There's a lot of people who want to pay top dollar out there, but there's also a lot of people on the sell side who just want an ear, and they want to hear that someone is going to take care of their property when they're gone.
Right. No, that's really sound advice. Thank you, Michael. Through the MHP Pros, you're mentoring the next generation of park operators. What is the single biggest mindset shift a student has to make when moving from analyzing deals on a spreadsheet to actually managing a living, breathing community with real tenant issues?
There's nothing like an on-site manager. You can't beat it. You legitimately just cannot run a mobile home park unless you have someone who can get to site quickly in the event of an emergency and deal with problems on a consistent basis and be your eyes and ears. Spreadsheets are great. They don't tell the whole story, and they certainly don't help you operate, at least not for the most part. And there's no replacement of these systems with AI. I'm sorry to tell you, unless we have humanoids, and I'm sure we will at some point, you're not replacing on-site staff. You're just not doing it. So learning how to manage staff, and learning how to find problems before they, become problems on site is going to be your biggest, leverage point as an operator. And being a good refurb specialist, understanding what your contractors are saying, that's a huge far cry from what we get at corporate, right? We're all spreadsheets, numbers, IRRs. No, not in the field. In the field, if your contractor tells you the price is $20,000, but the true price is $5,000, and you don't know why, you just lost $15,000. So you need to have that skill set. You need to start to understand a little bit about development, which is a good thing, honestly. It's a lot of fun if you lean into it.
Right. Yeah, no, that's a good point too. So you have a deep background in fund operations and systems automation. For an asset class that is traditionally seen as low tech, where do you see, you're just talking about it, but where do you see the highest leverage opportunity for AI or automation right now in park operations?
I really don't. I will say this again and again. There's not really, outside of park operations is everything from your accounting all the way through to your on-site, physical work, labor, maintenance, etc. Like the things that need to happen on the ground, that the trades are going to be the last thing that is automated. So, those things are not currently automatable, and there's going to be I think probably 10 years before we start to see anything that's legitimately utilizing your hands being automatable. So, from an accounting standpoint, you can automate a heck of a lot. I've started to do that myself. A lot of the time tracking, a lot of the payments processing, a lot of the, um, you know, I would say tracking of different project costs so that you can then correctly write them off, from the standpoint of either a CapEx item or a repairs and maintenance type item, or, once you do go and sell a home, as a for instance, what your gain and loss on that home is from a tax perspective. Like, these are things that if you don't set up ahead of time from an automation standpoint, and it's not tracking that, you're going to have a lot of fun at the end of the year going back and trying to figure out that screwdriver that you bought, like where that, which bucket that goes into, or,
Right.
those 5 pieces of OSB that, were purchased alongside 3 other projects and
Yeah.
there's no PO number, which project you assign that to. So if you don't have those upfront systems, and they're not automated,
Hmm.
you're going to have a lot of fun, digging into the P&L later.
Yeah. That sounds like the fun that no one wants to have.
Exactly.
So this is a bit of a, speaking of fun, let's use a magic wand here. If you could instantly fix or automate one friction point in the Ontario mobile or in the entire mobile home park acquisition or management life cycle, what would you away forever?
Um, the home sales process is just a real pain in the ass. And there's no real way to do it outside of Facebook Marketplace. So if someone could automate that at an affordable value, that would be fantastic. But it currently does not exist at an affordable value. I think
Right.
the last time I was quoted something like $5,000 per sold home, which is not, that's maybe okay if you're selling $120,000 brand new single wides,
Right.
but I'd maybe pay 1,000. I don't know, but it's definitely not in the range of $5,000. And so, people have 2 options. They can post ads on Instagram,
Hmm.
and those ads will reach people who are looking for homes, or they can go to Facebook Marketplace and they can post a home ad. And they can do that from their personal account, or they can create a fake account, or they can have their VA do it from their account. But inevitably, every account that does this consistently gets banned. So you're a ticking time bomb. And if you do this on your personal account, you're in some real trouble if things go
Yeah.
down, because Facebook connects to basically everything. And this
Exactly.
happened
Yeah.
to Ryan, actually, right?
Oh,
Like
really?
his entire Facebook is down right now.
Oh no.
So, it's a real problem in the industry, and I don't know if it's been properly solved.
Hmm. Well, hopefully one day someone will bring that cost down for you.
Yeah.
Um, but Michael, so for the people who want to look at your portfolio, learn from your mentorship platform, or connect with you, where's the best place for them to go?
Yeah, head over to themhppros.com. That's THEMHPPROS. So it's 3 words as one, themhppros.com. You can also find Ryan and I on LinkedIn, and Instagram. And we also have a podcast as well called The 30-Day Mobile Home Park on Spotify, which is pretty fantastic. We've gotten good feedback on it. So check us out in all 3 of those places.
That's amazing. Thank you. So yeah, incredible operational insights, Michael. Thanks for sharing your blueprint with us today. It's been a true pleasure. That's all for this episode of Beyond the Blueprint. I'm Jeff O'Donnell. We'll catch you on the next one.
Awesome. Thanks, Jeff.
You're welcome.